Then we continue with our discussions. We are going to continue with our summarization. So last week we summarized up to Shloka number 6. So we'll continue with Shloka number 7 onwards today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We are now going to continue with our summarizations. Let us first offer our obeisances to the Shat Goswamis. Nana Shastra Vichanika Nipunau Sadharma Sanstapakau Lokanam Hitkarinau Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padarvinda Vajnanandena Mattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau. I'll just take 5 minutes small summarization of what we understood till Shloka 6. We'll revise those Shloka words and then from 7 onwards, we'll continue with group summarization like we did last time. So Updeshamrut is helping us to move from the stage of Shraddha to the stage of Premaha. So all the 11 shlokas till shloka 6 we understand about Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha. And now the remaining 5 shlokas are going to take us through Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Ruchi, Asakti and Prema Bhava. Vacho Vegam Manasaha Krodha Vegam Jiva Vegam Udarapastha Vegam Etan Vegananyo Vishay Dhira Sarvam Apimam Prithvim Sashishya. A sober person can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpahaniyam agraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadvir bhakti vinashyati. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness and being greedy for mundane achievements. Utsahat nishchayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vritte shadvi bhakti prasiddhati. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of devotional service. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namely, being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Taunam, Vishnu Smaranam, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Dadati pratigrinati guhyamakhyati pruchati punkte bhojayate cha eva shadvidhim priti lakshanam. So, offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Krishneti yasya giritam manasa indriya dikshahati cheta pranatibhi bhajantam nisham shrushrushya bhajana vignam ananyam anya ninda adi shunya rudam ipsitam sankalabhya. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation Diksha and is engaged in offering the deity, worshipping the deity, and one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. दृष्टः स्वभाव जनितः वपुः च दोषः नः प्रकृतत्वम् इह भक्त जनस्य पश्येतम् गंगा अम्बसा न खलु बडबुडफेन पंकः ब्रह्मद्रवत्वम् अपगच्छति निर्धर्मः. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having body born in a low family, a body with bad complexion, a deformed body, or a body of a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bath in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmulitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcham Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sham Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. So we continue with shloka number 7. So like last time, all of you have to be completely involved. All of you have to repeat the shlokas so that together we try to get the perfection and understanding of these shlokas. So kindly repeat after me. स्यात् कृष्ण नाम
याद कृष्ण नाम
चरितादि सितापि अविद्यापितोपतप्त
पित्त उपत
रसनस्य न रोचिकानु.
रोचिकानु.
Hare Krishna. I think you all were muted. Now you can unmute yourself. किन्तु अदारत् अनुदीनाम्
आदरात् अनुदीनं
खलु सैव जुष्ट
सा एव जुष्टा
स्वादविक्रमाद् भवति
स्वादविक्रमाद् भवति
तद्गदमूलहन्त्रिः.
तत्कदमूलहन्त्री.
The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet. It is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So, very important shloka in which we understood the principles of chanting. So to understand the principles of chanting, first we wanted to understand what are the symptoms of the disease. So we saw two symptoms. One, no taste for name, form, etc. And two, it is feeling very bitter when we take the name. Just like a jaundiced person will feel even a sugar candy as bitter. So having understood the symptoms of the disease, then we went ahead and thought, what are the cause of this disease? Why are we having this no taste, or why are we feeling Lord service as bitter? So there we saw the causes as individual causes and collective causes. So individual causes are ignorance, forgetfulness, because we have seen Krishna Bhuliya, Jivera Swarupa Nityadas. So we have forgotten what is our originality. We have been distracted by Maya. That is the third reason. And fourth, we have taken Durashraya, bad or the false shelter. And after taking Durashraya, we are hoping against hope that okay, yes, something good will happen. And so we do not understand our mistakes. So these are all the 4, 5 causes of individual nature for this disease. At the collective level, if we see, we are misled by our blind leaders because there's atheistic leadership. So atheistic leadership is the most important cause, wherein we get misled by those blind leaders. And that is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Namam dushkriti no muddha. And they oppose the devotee endeavors and never surrender personally to Krishna. So as a result of such leadership, again we continue to get into this disease. So what is the cure? The cure is chanting. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadava nirvapanam. So the effect, the most important effect of chanting is it cleanses our heart as if it's a mirror which has been laid about with all the anarthas of our previous lifetimes. And it is the only thing which is going to take us out of this Bhava Mahadava. And that is why chanting is important. And the method to do chanting is it has to be done carefully and with attention. So the result of that will be we'll have our devotional service which becomes easy and beneficial. So where do we learn this chanting or where do we do it? So ISKCON provides one such platform because there, whatever little faith, Shraddha we have, it slowly increases because we are able to have sadhu sangha. Like we every day go for Sankirtana, so sadhu sangha increases. Bhajana Kriya, we are doing 16 rounds and following the 4 cumulative principles. And another vritti, we don't have any kind of camping, no tea, coffee, or no eating food outside in the restaurant, maintaining celibacy. So it helps in improving our chanting. And the most important thing is it is not only curing this disease, but it is going beyond care. Because it is bringing about the bhava, which is the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. So how do we understand that the bhava has improved? One, we will have no bodily concepts. We will understand the difference between Krishna and Maya. And then we will not be disturbed by Maya at all. So if you remember, we had seen the example of sun and the shadow. So that is how the power gets developed when we start doing the chant. So as time increases, the spiritual happiness keeps on increasing. But the material happiness goes on decreasing. And for that, we had seen the shlokas from Bhagavad Gita 18.37, 18.38. How spiritual happiness initially may seem like a poison, but towards the end, it is nectar. And material happiness in the initial phase, it seems nectarial, but ultimately it turns out to be poison. So, if you desire to enjoy the sense objects, then senses, then it is temporary. But if the soul desires to serve Krishna, then it is eternal. So let us make our intelligence fit, is what we understood in this shloka. That is, understand the futility, understand the insubstantiality, and understand the temporality of what we are doing. And instead, let us dive deep into Krishna consciousness. Dive, DIVE, increase the duration, increase the intensity, increase the variety of the bhajanas, and increase the extent of our services. And then we can sing our way to happiness, wherein we'll have special services. There will be increasing bliss. We will not be dependent on anything material, and we'll have generous help from Krishna. And then the intelligence will overcome the mind. We'll have conviction and we'll have commitment from the heart. So, intelligence can be made better than mind by considering that intelligence is the mother, mind is the child. And for this to happen, we need a doctor. That doctor is a guru, and the medicine is the holy name. That is what we all understood in shloka number 7. So let us move to summary of shloka number 8 now. Please repeat after me. Tat nama rupa charitadi
तन्नाम रूप चरिता
kirtananusmrityoho
कीर्तनानुस्मृत्यो
kramena rasana manasi niyojya
क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य
Tishtan vraje tad anuragi
तीर्थानुव्रजे तद अनुरागी
jananugami kalam
जनानुगामी कालं
na eda akhilam iti
नैद अखिलम् इति
updeshasaram.
उपदेशसारम्.
Translation: the essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely reciting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Braja Golok Vrindavan Dham and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. So if you remember this particular shloka, we are trying to understand what is the importance of this training of the mind. First of all, why to train? Just give me a minute, please. झालं का? Hare Krishna. So, why do we need to train? Because the mind can be a friend. And the mind is carrying impressions of our previous all lifetime and our karmas. So it is very dangerous as well. And it is the mind which is functioning at the death and deciding what would be our next body. And hence it is advice of all the scriptures that we need to train mind to think of Krishna. Think of Krishna and not the next birth. So how to train? One, there are 3 things which were mentioned here: residence, process, and service. So residence, we have to try to be in Praja, under shelter of advanced devotees, thinking of Krishna and pastimes. The process is, we have to remember Krishna and eternal associates as much as possible. And we need to serve with feeling, serve under direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna. And that is why we need to increase our sadhana, the spiritual practices executed in the stage of bondage, so that we are able to achieve our sadhya, which is real God. So we understood we need to look at the mind before we look with the mind. Now, mind actually is M for magnifying the problems, imagining pleasures, neglecting opportunities and denying the realities. This is actually mind, because our mind keeps on magnifying our problems. It makes us understand, oh, there is a preacher somewhere waiting down the line. And we neglect the opportunities which actually are true opportunities. So we are denying the realities. So controlling mind, after understanding this mind, is very important. Now, remembrance is something which has been mentioned here. So there are 4 stages of remembrance: Shravana Dasha, Varana Dasha, Smaranavastha, and Sampatti Dasha. So here, initially it is only by hearing, that is Shravana Dasha of remembrance. Then acceptance comes, Varana Dasha. And then we remember and chant in ecstasy, Smaranavastha. And finally, the eternal relationship is revealed, which is Sampatti Dasha. So when we are in Smarana Avastha, again that has got 5 stages. Initially, it is interrupted. We may at times feel ecstasy, at times we are not. Then it becomes uninterrupted. No, it is continuously there. Oh, I know my Jagannath Ji. I have to serve Jagannath Ji. I love Jagannath Ji. I need to be with Jagannath Ji. Then it becomes uninterrupted and concentrated. You don't think of anything else except your Jagannath. And then the meditation expands in the 4th stage and becomes completely constant. Anusmruti. And finally, the Samadhi stage, uninterrupted, unceasing Anusmriti of Krishna. That is what this 8th shloka is talking all about. And that is why the shloka mentions that this is the complete summarization of what Updeshamrut is all about. Iti Updeshamrut Sara Updesha Saram. That is what was mentioned clearly in this particular shloka. So let us now move to the next shloka summarization. Please repeat after me. Vaikunthajjanito vara madhupuri
Vaikuntha Janito
Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri.
tatrapi rasotsavat
Tatrapi
Rapi
Rasottava
Rastottaravat.
vrindaranyam udarapani
Vrindaranya Udarapani
Udarapani.
ramanat tatrapi govardhanah
Ramana
Ramana
Tatrapi
Tatrapi
Govindana
Govardhana.
Radha kundam ihapi
Radha
Radha
Kunda Vihapi
Gokulapatte prema amrita plavanat
Gokulapade
Gokulpate
Premrita
Prema Plavana.
kuryat asya virajato
Kuryatasya
Kuryadasya
Virajato
Virajato.
tate sevam viveki nakah.
Giritate
Seva
Sevam Viveki Naka.
Translation by His Divine Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji,
The
can
holy
I
place
chant the
known as
slok?
Mathura.
Prabhuji, can I
Yes,
chant the slok in the tune?
okay, Mataji, we'll try. You want to try, Mataji?
Yes, yes,
Please,
yes.
please, please, please do it,
See, the
Mataji.
tune
Yes,
is
Mataji.
this. Vaikunda janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat vrindavanyamudar paniramanat tatrapi govardhana radha kundamihapi gokulapate प्रेमार्त्रपीयवना कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितते सेवां विवेकिन कः
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Translation.
Haribol.
The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Raslila pastimes. and superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Shri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflowed with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Shri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kunda, which is situated at the foot of Govardhana Hila? So, this particular shloka is actually making us understand the hierarchy of holy places. It starts off with Vaikuntha, which is the spiritual world in the transcendental realm. It covers the three-fourths of the total creation, and definitely it is superior to the material world. So there are so many Vaikuntha planets, and all of them are behind the Brahman effulgence. But then Krishna says, even better than such Vaikunthas is Mathura. The reason, though it is located in material world, Krishna appeared as he is personally in Mathura. And where Krishna resides, that place is always better. And then Rup Goswamiji further says, even better than Mathura is Vrindavan. Vrindavan, which has those 12 forests, Dwadash Vanaha. And why is Vrindavan better than Mathura? Because it is famous for Krishna's pastimes, which we are currently seeing in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And even better than Vrindavan is Govardhan. Because Krishna has been tending his cows there. He has had all his rendezvous with Srimati Radharani there. And most importantly, he lifted the Govardhan hill. And that is why it is better than Vrindavan. But even better than Vrindavan is Radha Kund, which is at the foot of the Govardhan hill. Because the love of Krishna overflows there. It has been a site of many loving pastimes. And that is why it is said that all the advanced souls reside. So we had seen the story of Radha Kund, how it was rediscovered by Lord Chaitanya, and then the Shad Goswamis excavated it. And that is why it is very dear to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Sometimes the other Vaishnava Sampradayas do not accept it, but then they are not as much into devotional service. And that is why this shloka clearly explains. So we saw that universe is like a computer with different levels of access to different users based on their adhikar. And so what shloka is trying to make us understand is how do we see the Dhamma. So what is required is that we integrate the scriptural descriptions with sensory perceptions and pray for spiritual revelation. So first we need to read. The eyes do not see what the mind does not know. So we have to read the scriptures. And then these eyes will try to see. But again, it is possible only if Krishna reveals. And so the way to see a dham is scriptural descriptions integrated with sensory perceptions and prayed for by spiritual revelation. So that was shloka number 9 summary. So let us see now shloka number 10. Mansi Mataji, can you recite please? And
Okay.
we'll repeat after you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Karmebhya parito Hare priyataya
कर्मेभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया
Vyaktim vayurjnanina
व्यक्तिं ध्येयुर्ज्ञानिना
Tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama
तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्त भक्ति परमा
Premaika nishtha tata
प्रेमै अनिष्ठा तथा
Tevyasta pashu kalapankaja
Tedya Pashupala Pankaja
दृष्टास्ताभ्योऽपि सराधिका
Drishta Tabhyopi Saradhika
दृष्टा तत्त्वदीयां ददिया सरसी
Preshta Tatvadiyam Tadiya Sarasi
तं नाश्रयेत् का कृति
Tam Nashra Etikaha Kruti. Translation.
Prabhuji, there's no English translation.
I've missed to add the English wording. I'll add in the next slide, Mataji.
Okay.
In the Shastra, it is said that all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life, is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Nanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to them. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Shri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd god. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her kunda is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radha Kunda and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, a prakrita bhava. Render loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govind who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela. They are eternal, eightfold pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. So, this particular shloka is making us understand multiple aspects. It makes us understand about vikarmis, karmis, progressive bhakti, or the jnanis, the bhaktas, the gopis, and then ultimately about Srimati Radharani. Let's start off with vikarmis. So, they do not act as per Vedic knowledge, and that is why they are not appreciated by even sadhus. So they keep on taking birth as animal, trees, plants repeatedly. The karmis, they act according to Vedic knowledge. So they are better than the vikarmis. So what happens is they get elevated to the higher planets like say Chandra, Moon. But then after their piety is over, they again fall down and return to Mrityu Loka. The Danis, they come to the platform of knowledge. They understand what is Atma Tattva. They also understand that the fruitive activities are binding. So they are superior to karma. But unless they take to devotional service, they are still considered to be in avidya. The bhakta, they perform devotional service under the regulative principles. And that is why they become pure devotees. They develop pure love for Godhead. Just like Narad, Shanak, Sanatan, all these examples. Next comes beyond the bhaktas are the gopis. Because it is only gopis who know that their only work is satisfying Krishna. They don't know anything else. And they don't expect anything in return from Krishna. And that is why they are the most exalted of all devotees. In fact, they can never forget Krishna. And they keep on serving Krishna in the mood of separation. Vipralamba bhava. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he arrived, he actually displayed this mood. And he made us understand that Vipralamba bhava seva is better than even serving directly Krishna. And amongst the gopis is Srimati Radharani, the highest of all gopis. Nothing can excel her. Krishna cannot understand her, and so he came as Lord Chaitanya Prabhu in her attitude, bhava. It is Srimati Radharani who has the Radha Kund created. It is Radharani's lake. And so it is one of the most exalted places, which is explained even in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. It is said that serious devotees must take shelter of Radha Kund and execute the devotional service there. How to execute devotional service there? That comes in our 11th shloka. So let us revise now the 11th shloka. And then we'll end. Yeah. Mataji, Mansi Mataji, you like to recite in tune?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
कृष्णस्योचे प्रणयापसतिः
Krishna
Krishna
pranaya vasati
प्रेयशिभ्यो अपि राधा
teyasyo
Shibhyo
radha
कुण्डं चाशमुनिभिरभिदास
undam
Kundam
dasya apitacha
साग्रात् एव व्याधायि
sadrakidevo gadai
यत् प्रेष्ठेरपि अलम् असुलभम्
yat preshaihi api alam asulabam
किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजा
kim
Kim
punarbhakti bhaja
तत्प्रेमधाम साग्रत् अपि सर
tat premedam sakrad api sara
न तु आविश्वकरोति
natu avishkaro. Translation: of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Rajbhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply baths within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Such an important shloka. It answers why Radha Kund, who should be doing there, how it should be done, and what is the result. So why Radha Kund? Because it is belonging to Radha, the most beloved gopis. It is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. It has got unlimited glories and it is rarely attained. And hence Radha Kund. Who should be there? So in the purport, Prabhupada has mentioned about what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that those who are interested in advanced devotional service, they should be there in the mood of Sakhis and Manjiris. Those who want to be under the protection of Lord Chaitanya, those eager to go back to Godhead, they have to be at Radha. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains it further, that it is not just ordinary devotees. It's only for greatly fortunate few. And that is why even Narad and Shanak did not attain Radha. So how do we serve there? How do we serve Radha Kund? The response is bathing as many times as possible. And most importantly, devotional service at Radha Kund. We have to recite, serve under the manjaris in loving service of Lord and give up all material conceptions. So bathing, reciting, and giving material conceptions. The result will be the pure love of Krishna will be awakened, just like the gopis had. In fact, Shastra said that even if you bath once, the pure love comes up, sprouts up. And then we'll return back to Godhead, to Radha. And we will be directly under the supervisions of the gopis. And what can be better than that? Because finally, that is the ultimate objective that we are having. So the conclusion is that to live on the banks of the Radha Kund and to bath there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. There is no limit to the glory of Radha Kund. By serving Radha Kund, one can get an opportunity to become assistant of Srimati Radharani under the guidance of the Kundis. And that is why we need to take it up very seriously. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. So this